The record for the most expensive watch ever sold was broken by Rolex at an auction in 2017. The anonymous buyer paid around $18 million for a watch. But this wasn't just a regular watch, it was the mythical Paul Newman Rolex Daytona, which, as you can probably guess, was owned by Paul Newman himself and considered by many the most iconic watch to have ever been made. However, the majority of the value of this Daytona watch is not necessarily due to its appearance, nor its incredible engineering. It is the fact that this watch embodies the history and legacy of Rolex. Nowadays, Rolex has become the most successful luxury watch company in the world, with over $13 billion in sales every year. But why do so many people buy these extremely expensive watches when there are so many cheaper, equally functional alternatives? Is it all about the company's legacy? Let's take a deeper look at Rolex's history and how it attained the prestige it has nowadays. Rolex was founded in London in 1905 by Hans Wilsdorf when he was only 24 years old. Hans was born in Kulmbach, a town in Germany, and was the second son of a family of 3 children. Both his parents died when he was very young, which made him become an orphan. After attending a prestigious boarding school, Wilsdorf began his career by working for 2 different watchmaking companies in Switzerland and London. During these experiences, he discovered that, at the time, wristwatches were frowned upon because they were not precise at all. However, Hans was a believer that the wristwatch had a lot more potential than the mainstream pocket watches, so he made it his mission in life to popularize them. He set up a business with Alfred Davis named Wilsdorf & Davis, with the aim of providing high-quality watches at affordable prices. Initially, Hans wasn't happy with the company's name as he wanted it to be short and easy to say in any language. And one morning it came to him: Rolex. In 1908, it officially became the name of the company. Rolex first concentrated on the quality of the movements. The relentless quest for chronometric precision rapidly led the company to success. In 1910, Rolex received various prestigious awards for chronometric precision, originating Rolex's true essence. At this point, Hans already knew that Rolex was producing the most precise, highest quality watches at the time. He just needed to find a way to showcase their technical performance to the world, so they began sponsoring the riskiest endeavors that were going on back then. In 1926, Rolex created the first waterproof and dustproof watch ever, the Rolex Oyster. To promote it, they sponsored Mercedes Gleitz, who crossed the English Channel in 1927 wearing an oyster for the whole swim. The swim lasted over 10 hours, and the watch remained in perfect conditions throughout all of it. A couple of years later, in 1933, the first expedition to fly over Mount Everest was also equipped with Rolex Oysters. The members of the crew were highly satisfied with the performance of the watches and made the company gain even more popularity. Their motto from this day on became, "From the top of the world to the bottom of the sea, Rolex proves dependable." From that point onwards, Rolex started sponsoring sports such as sailing, golf, tennis, and equestrian tournaments. However, they focused more on finding athletes who shared Rolex's values and could be great ambassadors for the brand. The most iconic ambassador in history is Roger Federer, one of the best tennis players in history, who has been sponsored by Rolex for over 20 years, with the partnership ending in 2022 when Federer retired. To announce his retirement, Rolex even created a tribute video solely dedicated to show his amazing career and accomplishments. Talk about class. Another notable Rolex ambassador is Tiger Woods, who rejoined as a brand ambassador in 2011. Both these athletes perfectly exhibit the brand's core values, which are excellence, performance, prestige, and innovation. Did you know that it takes about a year to make a Rolex watch? Well, this is partly true, because it takes 1 year to manufacture all the various components that go into a Rolex, but only 4 hours to assemble them together. Rolex does not outsource any part of the production process as they are fully vertically integrated. The whole manufacturing process starts with sourcing the raw materials needed. Rolex sources the materials and even creates its own signature gold and steel alloys, such as Oyster steel and Everose gold. After this, they produce movements, dials, cases, and even bracelets in facilities located in Switzerland. All the pieces are hand-assembled by their trained and certified employees. And voila! A Rolex has been made. Rolex has been around for more than 100 years, and it has never been as popular as nowadays. The main reason why Rolex has been so successful is because the brand continues to uphold the same levels of quality that were established more than 100 years ago. Hans Wilsdorf made a huge bet by creating the company in the early 1900s, but it has clearly paid off. Rolex continues to be positioned as the classy, traditional, high-performance brand, and they have achieved this by sponsoring athletes who they shared their values with. What have you liked the most about the history of Rolex? Would you purchase one of their watches if you had the chance? I know I would. Thank you for watching.